Ashe, ashe, ashe. Shout out to the people. Shout out to our vessels. May we take care of our vessels and we develop more self-love and putting that intention in. I woke up, thank the Most High for this life that I'm living. These meditations get my mind right and me in tune with my spirit. On this peace side, spreading these vibes in this physical dimension. My ancestors assisting on this earth with a mission. Got me on this piece of love, yeah. Got me on this piece of love, on this piece of love. Got me on this piece of love, on this piece of love, yeah. Got me on this piece of love, on this piece of love. Got me on this piece of love, on this piece of love, yeah.
Yeah. Since I've been focused on focusing, my mind been opening, going and growing.
What's going on, Peace and Love? We here on Peace TV. You rocking with Brother Peace, and who we rocking with today?
Today we rocking with Brother Magik, aka Chef Ali, plant-based chef, natural healer, and definitely a voice for our people for health and wellness. So give thanks.
Ashe. Who else we got right here rocking with us?
Peace and love, family. My name is Sista Bambi.
She is on the same path too as well. Natural healer for all melanated women. A food caveat and definitely beautiful sister. So thank you for being here.
Man, well, shout out to the family. And we got Brother Ajgod rocking with us as well. He in the kitchen. He's just on the other side. He's not in the camera, but we all in the kitchen today, as y'all can see, and we tapping in, man. So we in the kitchen, so let's tap into the frequency of food. You know what I'm saying? You rocking with Brother Peace, and for me, cooking and being in the kitchen is definitely a way where I can tap into my peace within myself. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my big brother Michael, because along my path and my journey, he has been an inspiration. And just being a good example of how creating these different recipes with these plant-based foods to where now, like, I'm creating my own recipes and I'm getting it in the kitchen. So I want to get my brother's perspective today on plant-based eating. Like, just share your perspective on plant-based eating, brother.
Give thanks. I appreciate this opportunity to speak about the plant-based lifestyle. It's something I had to adapt and grow into. Growing up, I was raised in American society where we have the standard American diet, and definitely had times in my life when I dealt with health issues that forced me and leaned me into this plant-based lifestyle. So I want to give thanks to the Most High for going through these different transition of health issues in order for me to see the bigger picture of being able to take care of my body and be on a healthier path. So 8 years ago, I was going through a lot of health issues eternally, dealing with a lot of skin issues, headaches, also dealing with fatigue, had trouble sleeping, and was in and out the hospital trying to figure out what was going on with me. And I didn't have no answers. I didn't have no results of how to help heal my body. So with that, I went inside and said that I have to find a way to naturally, heal myself outside of the hospital. So started doing a lot of study and research about different environmental issues, like what's going on with the food, what's going on with the water, the air, just everything in these cities and environments is very toxic around us. So once I found an understanding of that, I said, I have to find a way to protect myself and heal myself from these toxic city environments that we live in. So started working with stones and crystals to naturally heal and cleanse my aura. Started working with herbs to cleanse my body and my system, and started going the process of healing myself. But the biggest transition for me was eliminating meat and eliminating dairy and eliminating a lot of acidic food from my diet, starting into the knowledge of Dr. Sebi, along with other health practitioners, Dr. Phil Valentine, Layla Africa, Queen of Four. The list goes on and on about so many different brothers and sisters out here who are holistic healers. And but definitely Dr. Sebi was a high influence with me transitioning into an alkaline plant-based diet. And then from there, just took the time to apply the knowledge, started applying these different foods into my diet, started incorporating these different herbs, these different spices into my diet and started to see my body heal rapidly. And within that healing, my consciousness and my awareness expanded as well. Started getting more spiritually tapped in with myself. Started to realize I had a deeper calling and deeper path in this lifetime outside of just living to live. So started studying more about, numerology, astrology, get into the natural sciences that our ancestors and indigenous people left behind for us, and started crossing paths with like-minded people like, my brother Peace and my brother Osman and Sista Bambi, who inspire me every day to keep on this path and stay healthy and stay focused for our people. And it's been a powerful journey thus far. So I give thanks for being where I'm at right now. And just want to share as much as I can with the people. So I appreciate you asking me that, brother.
That was powerful. Like, you was going in just off the strength of sharing your perspective of plant-based eating. You know what I'm saying? And from what you was expressing, you saying that the plant-based eating has shifted your whole reality, bro. Like, god damn, like, that was a lot. You was going through a lot of just different transitions in your life and health issues, and for you changing your diet and tapping into plant-based eating and experimenting with that has shifted your energy, your fatigue, your health, your wellness, and has gotten you on a path of embracing more health and wellness and tapping into being a natural healer. So that's powerful, bro. I appreciate you sharing that. I want to get the feminine perspective. That came from the masculine, brother. That was a powerful testimony. I appreciate you. But sister, I want to get your perspective about plant-based eating, how you feel about it, and what does it mean to you?
Well, you know what? I started my journey about 9 years ago, and I was actually running from it. So I had already known about plant-based maybe, 10 years prior, but I really wasn't ready to tap in. And I was going to school to be a drug and alcohol counselor. And at the time, my teacher had just transitioned, and she showed us a documentary which changed my life. I went home that night and threw everything out, all my meat, all my dairy, everything. And for me, that was huge because I'm from Texas, so we eat every part of the meat, from the root of the tutor. So so we eat it all, and I threw it out, and I was inspired. And from that moment, I began my journey and just started studying. I started doing raw food, and then I went alkaline right after that. And it's been a beautiful journey after stepping into that, and from there my consciousness was also raised, and my life changed from there. I started growing my locks and just surrounding myself with new things. So it's been a beautiful journey. Yeah.
Thank you, sister. So it's been a beautiful journey for both of these two powerful beings in making a shift and tapping into plant-based eating. I would say that's so powerful, and for me as well, just sharing my perspective, I would say 2016 is when I made the shift. 2016 was a very up and down year for me. Within that year, I had got shot. So when I got shot, I had to sit down. I had to sit with myself, really observe myself, observe my life, observe the things that I've been tapping into, observe the food I've been consuming. So during that time of just being able to sit with myself, I started tapping in online. Around that time is like when I just met the good Brotha Magik, and he was already on his path of plant-based eating. He was always encouraging me and inspiring me, and every time I come around the brother, he always has some plant-based food. So that shifted my awareness that it's some healthy alternatives out here that's really good for you. So I started tapping in. Like, I started looking online at different recipes and stuff like that, started purchasing different elements and things from nature, like a lot of these plants and a lot of fruits and stuff like that. So, and I started incorporating my own different recipes and stuff like that. So I'm still on that path and on that journey and still building with that and attracting more people that's on the same path. So I'm very grateful to get their perspective on plant-based eating today. So we tapping in and y'all whipping up a plant-based meal right now. Yes, sister? Yes, sister, you can share something.
I would like to also talk about health. I think it's very important for women, especially, to just look into a plant-based lifestyle. One, because we are number one, Black women, the melanated woman. We are number one when it comes to fibroids and cysts. There is a war on the Black woman's womb, so we have to be mindful of what we are ingesting in our body, and plant-based is the best way to go. So, and also, we want to incorporate more fruits because it's good for the yoni. We want to smell good and we want to taste good.
That's powerful. Yes, sisters, listen to that goddess, because she just sharing some powerful knowledge for y'all that's very vital for y'all wellness. You know what I'm saying? And my purpose is to get them on here on this platform today is to share their perspective because I know they're about health and wellness, and I'm into health and wellness. So I definitely want to get more people on the platform to share and get different perspectives of health and wellness. You know what I'm saying? So we tapping in with the plant-based eating. What type of plant-based meal are you guys preparing today?
Right now, we're in the process of preparing plant-based spaghetti pasta for the people. This will be a part of Raw Soul Collective, which is a collective based out of Oakland, where we're putting together gift boxes, tune-up gift boxes for the people, donating them off of donations from local black-owned businesses. We're just helping to feed the people right now during these times of crisis, and we're looking forward to having events and gatherings where we're holding healing spaces for our people. But for this one in particular, we're putting together a rasta pasta. So the rasta pasta is a plant-based pasta. We are going to add in an element of field day roast, which is a plant-based sausage, but it's made with no soy ingredients. So that's something that we don't really advocate. Is soy and any kind of genetically modified foods. And that's another thing that we need to touch on as far as the people is getting back to being able to grow our own foods, being able to identify the foods that's healthy for us, and also being able to share information and knowledge how we can utilize these foods on a daily basis. So this is a pasta that you can make very easy, very simple to put together. The ingredients are very simple. We have zucchini, onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, and we're creating our own pasta sauce and some brown rice pasta noodles. Just doing the best we can to have the most plant-based and alkaline ingredients as possible. And nothing is always perfect, but we always do our best to eat as healthy as possible. So that's only advice I give to people. Don't be so critical on yourself where you feel like that anything you eat is going to kill you, but definitely make sure that you're balanced. It's always a balance in everything that you do in life. So that's what we're helping people for today.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Shout out to the people. Shout out to our vessels. May we take care of our vessels and we develop more self-love and putting that intention in. I heard you speak about people growing food, brother. Why do you feel like that's not me personally? I'm on social media, so I see on social media there are people out here who definitely grow food, but it's not the majority of our people not out here growing food or tapping in with natural food. Why do you feel like that's not something that is really big in our community, within our people? Because hearing stories from my grandparents and stuff like that, like my great-grandparents, they had farms, they were in the garden, they were more in tune with nature. But the newer generation and the people coming up, we're not into that. We rather get things fast, quick. You know what I'm saying? So, and I came up going to fast food restaurants and stuff like that. So I'm transitioning. I'm eating plant-based now, but I really want to get into growing food and growing natural food. So when you had spoke about that, that definitely stood out to me. So I want to get your perspective. Why do you feel like that's not a big thing that our people are tapping into out here in America?
Indeed. Well, I like to see the sister got perspective on this right now because she is a farmer and has a garden that she tends and works with. So, sister, do you have a perspective you want to share with the people about that?
Absolutely. Well, one of the reasons is exactly what you said. Everything is so fast. We live in a fast-paced world, and fast food restaurants are dominating everything. And we want it easy. We want it accessible to us, just like that. So, and also, as our parents got away from doing it, our grandparents, the parents got away from it, and then we got away from it, and then we started moving into the city. Where we didn't have the land, we didn't have the, we weren't available to be able to do that. So for me, I bought a house not too long ago, and I started my garden, and I actually allow people in the community to come and help as well. And so we have to get back to the basics of learning how to plant seeds, learning how to also save seeds. People don't realize that once your harvest is there, you have to save the seeds in order to replant it again. Exactly. So it's very important for us to just get back to the things that we know how to do. This is what our grandparents did, and this is what we need to be doing now. And especially with what's going on at this moment, the climate of the world right now, we don't know what they're doing. I've heard people say that they're actually not selling certain seeds. So that's heavy too, because we won't have access to them. So so start saving your seeds too.
Ashe. Just to touch on, both y'all was saying, it's the access to the food that's is the control of this system and this government that we live in. Food, clothes, and shelter is the most important thing to life, just to physically be comfortable and to live a sustainable life. So without us having a control of our food, without us having control of our clothing and how we manufacture it, and not having access to shelter and building our own homes. We've been kind of lost out here as a people. It's at times that we have done that, and we always have done that, but just in this current climate in America over the last 100 years we've been here, we've been brainwashed and tricked to depend on these governments and societies to provide this for us, when it's always been our own job to provide for ourselves. So I just think that independence and autonomy is very important right now. Starting to police ourselves again, outside of this law system, and growing our own food, and being sustainable, at every level possible.
Ashe. Yeah, that's a lot, man, and that y'all touched on. I appreciate y'all sharing y'all perspectives on that and touching on those things. And the people that's taking the time to tune in, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to tune in and receive some good perspective, because it's a lot of good intention that I'm putting in this platform to get good people to share some things that I feel like are vital for people, some things that people need and can utilize within their lives. And so this is Peace TV. So I just would like to get to Sista Bambi. It's your first time. I had this brother on the channel before with a few of my good brothers. So this is my first time having you on the channel, sister. So I would like to just get your perspective of peace. Like, what do you view peace? Like, what is peace to you?
Well, peace is love. Peace is a mindset. Peace is a way of life. Peace is everything that we need. We are in a climate where people are scared. People are nervous. People are living in fear, and we're missing peace. So we have to tap in with nature. We have to sit with ourselves and connect with ourselves. And when we connect with ourselves and the Most High, we're connecting with the Most High, excuse me. So, peace is just love. Peace is balance.
Ashe, I resonate with your perspective of peace, sister. How do you create your own personal peace? And like in times when you're not at peace, how do you put yourself in that state of peace? Like, what are some things that you do, if you can give some examples?
That's a deep question. So for me, when I'm not at peace and I find myself maybe taking on some things that are going on with the world, I meditate. Meditation brings me balance. I like to stay grounded. I like to get in nature and just tap in, be surrounding myself with water, or even just being with my daughter and just going outside and putting our feet in our backyard in the dirt. And that helps to ground me. That helps to bring me peace. Yeah, and being around family as well. Yeah.
Shout out to the frequency of peace. And as y'all can see, you got the masculine energy right here. We got the feminine energy right here. How could brothers and sisters create peace and harmony amongst each other, especially being in America? Like, our history has been distorted. It's been many of things put out in the media to make men and women look bad. It's just many different stereotypes of black men and black women. And also within the black family has been destroyed, you know what I'm saying? And just the connection between black men and black women, like just not have that genuine flow and support like we should be having in a society that's designed to keep us down. So how could we have peace and harmony amongst black men and women in this world? Can any of y'all share your perspective on that?
I appreciate that question, brother. It's a very solid facts that you mentioned right there. I definitely feel like just sticking to the basics for our people will be the way that we can start to communicate a little bit more and create more peace with each other. So doing what we're doing right now, just being in this kitchen creating this meal, you know what I'm saying? I remember growing up, I used to see, my father and my mother come together and put together a meal, or my grandmother and my grandfather, or just, different elders in the family cook, and, the children be around, and we learn, just about family history, and, we get a chance to talk, and we have that meal, and we sit, and we all laugh and communicate, and, we get to learn more about each other, and I think that we need to get back to that. I was speaking about this the other day as far as how we got separated with the food, especially in current times where we don't even sit together as a family at the table and have a meal. And in other cultures, it's very relevant that, out the day, they shut down the whole day just for that, people to come together and have that meal. So I just feel like, when we start coming together and having these meals together, and, we working on having more healthier meals. I know for my family, it's kind of hard to come together, have a nice, healthy meal. A lot of us are still programmed that, vegan food is nasty food, or food that doesn't have any kind of animal products in it, don't have any kind of taste to it. But we still working on trying to recondition ourselves just to be open to have other options at the table, and we come together outside of this Thanksgiving to have a meal. So I think that's very important. Also, just respecting just the divine feminine energy and respecting women. As black men, we need to get back to that. I know that we have a lot of gripes, between relationship with black men and black women, and we're doing a lot of dating, outside of ourselves. But I just truly believe that the black man has been hurt, with not having a black woman as his side, for him being in his rightful position. And I think that the black woman is hurt without the black man being on her side in her rightful position. So we got to see ourselves back in our rightful positions, man. We got to have brothers back in economics, being owners of things, not working for, this system and corporation. Once we get back to our ownership and we can establish land and we can have children, without having to worry about how we taking care of them and everything is set up in the foundation for the kingdom, then we all going to flourish and we're going to be able to be very confident in how we moving and be able to, attract, our right partners and be able to, have that family union where we're not going to have to raise from a single parent home where it's just a mother raising the children, where the father is there, the mother is there, the grandparents are there, the family and the community is there to oversee the whole process with the family. Definitely the woman being back in her rightful position where she's, fully confident, where she's taken care of, where she don't have to worry about going to work all day and taking care of the family and being exhausted, and she can just come and be at her peace and be very creative and help to spark the brother and influence the brother to be out there moving harder for the family, and protecting the family too, and being trained and within firearms and combat training and physical training and all that is very important. So when we can get back to that as brothers, and when sisters can be back in their rightful places, being at ease and being able to just to bear the babies and do it with love and raise children with love and raise children at a higher level of consciousness. So I'll just say stick to those basics, man and woman. Uplifting each other, speaking life into each other, and seeing us in rightful positions, and maybe from there we can start to create these societies again. That's just for us.
Shay, do you have anything to share, Bambi? Or you resonate everything? The brother, he was going in. He spoke for the sisters and the brothers, man. That was very powerful, and I feel like that is very necessary. Let's do that as a people. Like, let's get in tune and harmony with each other. Let's start showing more respect for one another. Let's show compassion to one another, because we all are at different levels of consciousness and we all move at our own pace. So just respecting that, having that compassion, and knowing that we all unique in our own way, but we all are part of this collective consciousness and sharing this life and this existence and on this planet together. So I feel like it's vital for us to ignite that peace and harmony, to be able to be in tune with each other. And then some shit pop off, we'll be able to tap into that mode of our warrior spirits and protect each other. But we got to have that peace and harmony and connection with each other to be able to do anything, in a smooth way. So shout out to the peace and harmony within us that we can activate within our eternal selves, and that we could reflect out into each other. So peace and love. Anybody else got anything y'all want to share with the people?
You know what? If you want to tap in with the works that we're doing right now, you can tap in with me personally at Magik. That's MAGIKELBEY, Magic L Bay on Instagram. But for the business aspect of things, we have Black Sea Cuisine, which is the food service business as well. And Raw Soul Collective is a collective where we're doing the works on giving the donations and having spaces for our people to heal at. And you want to share, sister, where your links is at?
Sure. You can actually reach me on IG, Queen Original Woman, the number 7. That's Queen Original Woman, the number 7, and also the Goddess Lab. I have different herbs and tonics to help heal the body.
Shay, and I would say that's a wrap. Just a cool, smooth segment today while we're in the kitchen, and we're gonna get back to tapping in with this food, but just got the opportunity to get some perspective right now while we on a good peaceful frequency with each other, tapping in the kitchen. Shout out to the brother Michael, shout out Bambi, shout out to brother Ajgod. We got our brother Ajgod. He was in there putting in work in the kitchen, man. Shout out to another good brother, man. It's beautiful to see our brothers in the kitchen, man. You got anything you want to share with the people, man?
I just want to shout out my brother Peace, for spreading them good love and peace vibrations around the world. It really takes a village to come together and raise not just a child, but raise our culture up. You know what I'm talking about? And we reviving that real African-rooted culture. We African-American, as in we're in America, but we're really tapped in with who we are. We don't go by these labels that they give us, but we live by the standard that we place upon ourselves and that our ancestors gave us. You know what I mean? So we tapping back in with the food. We tapping back in with each other. You know what I'm saying? We tapping back in with our queens. We tapping back in with our mothers and our fathers. And of course, we tapping back in with our children. So Ajgod here. I love y'all. Respect to everybody. And yeah, shout out to Peace TV.
I appreciate you sharing your piece, brother.
Yeah. Back to the kitchen.
Back to the kitchen. We tapping in. Y'all stay just aware and alert what's going on in the world, but also stay aware and alert within yourself. Stay in tune with self. Know thyself. Peace and love. We out.
Here from Oakland, athletic, the expected way to escape. A drop of fire mixtape. Pray for better times through the growing pains. We the first generation to see this change. Even if I want peace, the ops can't forget. RP today, bruh, now they want revenge. Gotta break the cycle like a bike chain. Peace and love what I bang. Now it's all on their brain. Then I pray that one day the light fill up in their heart. Lil' bro was going dumb, but we know he hella smart. Who gon' tell him that he can go to school and be cool? His role model sell drugs. This life here is true. Speaking on the struggle just to show I can relate.